Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so first things first, I want to tell you guys that I noticed my background isn't as like fancy and cool as everyone else's. So I'm gonna do some things and like add some stuff right here to try to make it a little more fancy and interesting, let's say, okay? But I'm gonna jump right into this today. This is part 2. I was originally just gonna do a part 1 of prison hustle and how people get money in prison to survive if they don't get money or financial help from anybody in the free world, right? But then it dawned on me when I finished the video, wait a second, I did not include the #1 freaking thing that every female inmate strives for. And I'm telling you, like, unless your family is just hooking you straight up from out there and sending you $100 a week, this is a big deal. This is something that women just want, okay? Now, if your family is sending you money every week and you have not one desire in the world and there's nothing you could want for in prison, then you're good and you will probably never think of this. But 90% of the women in prison, this is their end game, and I didn't even freaking include it. So I'm like, I'm an idiot. So this is part 2. It deserves its own little segment anyways. And here it is, y'all. Okay, guys. So women in prison can either get money from their own finances that they have set up and someone is just taking care of their money, their estate, their bank account, whatever, kind of being their power of attorney, or they can get money by hustling inside of prison. But what if they don't want to hustle inside of prison? Or what if it's a girl who's used to being spoiled and she wants someone to just throw cash at her or something like that? There are a lot of women in prison that will take advantage of a pen pals. Pen pals, better known in the prison system as sugar daddies, okay? Now, out here, you guys might call them pen pals all day long, and that's fine if that's what makes everyone feel better, that you're writing a female inmate to help pass their time, give them a shoulder to cry on through paper, a sounding board, someone to vent to, whatever, that's fine. But I'm going to give you guys the real, raw truth right now about really what pen pals are and how they are looked at, how they are conned, how they are finessed, how they are groomed into becoming a full-blown money machine for the female inmates, okay? Because let me tell you, a lot of these men think that they are starting out with the ball in their court, and they are. They are. You men out there are the ones who have all the control as far as if you want to respond, if you want to take the bait, if you want to send the money and all of that. But once that woman, and some of them are damn good, y'all, once that woman gets her finesse going on, gets her talk game going on, gets everything so deep-seated and deep-rooted into your brain that her claws and her hooks are all the way into your soul, she's gonna drain you. She's gonna suck you dry. And I hate to like say it like this, but you really have all the power at first, but you lose it very quickly and you don't even know it. So this is what happens, okay? Now, it can happen in one of two ways. Most women will have a family member or someone put them up on a pen pal website, okay? Now, once the picture is up on the pen pal website, there are tons of men out there cruising these websites that basically, I don't know, because I've never been in the male side of it, but I'm assuming that, and most women in prison do assume that these men are lonely, you know, as a man, and as a human being, I guess, in general, it's nice to feel wanted. It's nice to feel needed. It strokes your ego and gives you, you know, a good feeling, something to look forward to when you know that someone's dependent on you, right? And I mean, we can open a whole freaking floodgate, Pandora's box of mental health issues, codependency issues, all kinds of crazy stuff, but we're not even going to go there. We're going to keep this very shallow and very surface because this is not about the man and where his mindset is. This is about the woman and how she's conning the shit out of every single one of you, okay? So, I know I'm going to get a lot of is it flack? Backlash. Got it. Y'all thought I didn't have it, but I got it. Okay. I'm going to get a lot of backlash for this, but I'm just going to tell it like it is because everybody knows what is really going on. And for those of you that don't, I'm about to tell you, okay? So the first way is the family member can put the picture up and then men will write, okay? There is usually a generic letter that the female in prison has and sends out to every single guy that writes her back. Now, for the sake of this video, we're going to call the guys John. No, we're not going to call them Johns. Oh my God, that's what they call the prostitute in the street. Okay, no. We're going to call them Toms, okay? So for the sake of the video, we're going to refer to the men as a whole as Toms, okay? No offense to any of you Toms out there, but okay. So usually the female in prison will have a generic letter that she writes to every single Tom. It's the same letter. It says the same thing. It's like we call it in prison an intro letter, okay? It's an introduction letter. It's trying to kind of bait you a little bit, and she will send it out to any Tom that writes her. Okay, every Tom gets the same letter. Tom, you're not special. Tom, you're not special. Okay, everybody got it. So after that, there is usually a second, a third, and all the way up to 4 letters. Now, these letters are all pre-written. They are all baited letters. They are all letters to get someone to get the bait. Bite the bait, hook, line, and sinker. Once you have groomed the man and told him all of these things, you start complaining about certain things you don't have, certain things the prison took from you, certain things that so-and-so has that you want. Because now this man has a little bit of an emotional attachment to you, and he feels your pain, and he wants to be your protector, and he wants to save the day. So he's going to send you the $10 or $20 because you ran out of soap. Or, you know, he's going to put the $15 in someone else's account because your tag got lost, or whatever the case may be, okay? Once he does little things, because you never start out big, none of the letters start out big, then you go to bigger and bigger and bigger. Now your tennis shoes are ripped, or your tennis shoes got stolen, or your tablet got stolen, or your radio broke, and now you need a new one. And you're kind of just throwing these little seeds out there, and you're watching them grow in his mind. And as they're growing in his mind, you're feeding his heart, and you're telling him everything he wants to hear, and you're selling him all these pipe dreams, and he thinks that you guys are gonna ride off into the sunset and live happily ever freaking after. And oh my God, that cannot be further from the truth, okay? Because while this girl is writing you all of these things and telling you how you guys are gonna ride off into the sunset together with just married cans hanging off the back of your bumper, tinkling along in the street, she's also booed up in prison with her girlfriend. And she's writing you at night when she's locked down on her bed or in her room, and she's by herself away from her girlfriend, and she's writing you. And when you're sending her those $20, her and her girlfriend are getting cheeseburgers along with the bars of soap. And they're eating them. And you're supporting a whole couple and you don't even freaking know it. So, once things start to evolve and get deeper and deeper and deeper, now you start asking for bigger things. And once you've asked for big things, then you want to get him into a routine and a schedule. So now you want to get him into sending you a certain fixed amount every single week. Okay, or doing something on a schedule. Once you've got him on a schedule, you are in there, lock, key, throw it out the door. You're good. You're good. That is everybody's goal. Okay, this is a whole game, guys. This is a whole world. And I want to say this, and I'm going to say this several times in this video. If you are a man or woman and you are doing any of these things and you're watching this right now and you feel like a total jackass and you feel dumb, let me say one of two things. One, there is 1 out of every 100 women that really might fall in love with you and you guys might have the fantasy. But when I tell you it's 1 out of every 100, I'm not kidding. It's not 1 out of every few. It's 1 out of every 100. Okay. Number 2, if this is what you want to do with your money, it's your prerogative. If this is how you want to spend your free time, it's your prerogative. Do what you wish with your life, whatever makes you happy. What I will say is, while you're doing this, don't be naive and don't do this under the pretenses that you're going to have this happily ever after, because 9 times out of 10, you're not. You're being used, and you might form a bond, and the girl might actually respect you and have, you know, some kind of like or love in an appreciative way for you. But it's very rare that she's in love with you, okay? Just saying. So if you want to do it, do it. By all means, do it. If that's what tickles your freaking pickle, do it. But don't do it thinking that you're going to have a fairy book story ending, okay? Because it's not likely. Okay. Anyways, that was a side note. So, now, Once she's got you on the schedule, you're good. You're in there. She's in there. Everybody's good. Da, 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 da. Now you guys are starting to have more of an official relationship, right? Now things are a little deeper. Now she's calling you when she has problems. Now she's telling you what the officers did to her. Now you have to call the prison and complain because so-and-so did this or did that, or she needs to move dorms because really she wants to get in the dorm with her girlfriend, but she's telling you that somebody's bothering her in the dorm or the sergeant's harassing her or whatever the storyline is, okay? Now, so once that's happened and she's got you on a schedule, that's it. You're about to start pouring out money every single week on demand, okay? You're probably going to get her clothes and her shoes when she actually gets out of prison. You might even get her a house or a car. I don't know. You know, it can go pretty extreme. But once her feet hit that free world ground, she's gone. She's gone. Did y'all hear me? She's gone. Okay? Don't get used. Just saying. Okay. Now, this is the other way. In prison, because pen pal websites and all that stuff, you know, sugar daddy stuff, that is prohibited in prison. If you get caught trying to get on a pen pal website or anything of that nature, any kind of correspondence gets caught, which is very hard now because, you know, prisoners have tablets, inmates have tablets that they can use. So it's like really hard to catch it now, but it is prohibited, so you guys know. And what will happen is an inmate can send a company payment, and they can either cut a check out of their own personal account and have it sent to this company, this pen pal website, or they can send it in the form of stamps. Stamps are a payment, okay? So say you want to send $100 worth of stamps to this company. The company will then send you a list of Toms, okay? A list of Toms and their address, okay? The Toms are already on the website, and the company will send you all of their names and all of their addresses. So what you will do is, say you suck at writing, say that you don't know what the hell you're doing and you got a long, sorry y'all, my hair is doing funkery. I know that sounded like I was about to cuss, but I said funkery with an N, funkery, okay? Okay, anyways, so say that you suck, you don't know what you're doing, and you need help. Like, you need help writing these letters. You can go to a very well-known pen pal, like Madam, let's say, and you can buy the letters. You can buy the intro letter, the first letter, the second, the third, the fourth. Hell, you can get her to have your whole relationship for you. But usually it's up to like 4 or 5 letters. You'll pay for the letters anywhere between $3 and $20. And if she sees that you're starting to, like, you know, the letters are really working, you might go back and pay her even more for more letters, or to pay her for the entire time to just write for you, okay? Maybe you have a girlfriend, maybe you have a demanding job in prison, maybe whatever, and you just don't have time, so you might pay this person. But you will get these letters, and you're gonna start with, but you will get the intro letter first, okay? Now, when you get the list of all of the Toms, you will send the intro letter to every Tom on that list. Say you paid for 100 Toms addresses. You will get every single Tom that intro letter. And then you'll sit back and you'll wait to see who bites the bait. Who's gonna bite, okay? Now, there is a process of weeding the men out, because some men will just try to write you and get like dirty letters from you and, you know, do some little pervy stuff or whatever, but not really want to, you know, spend the cash. And if they're not going to roll out the bank, if they have not rolled out some kind of money your way or some kind of gift your way by at least the 4th or 5th letter, it's kind of iffy if you're going to hear from her after that, okay? Because something needs to be at least in the works by the 5th letter. So you'll buy the first letter, you'll see who bites the bait, and whoever bites the bait will write you back, and you'll start, you know, the process. You'll start grooming him. You'll start grooming Tom, okay? So once you start grooming Tom, you will then at that point send him the 2nd, the 3rd, and you'll keep doing this until the ones that are not going to pay start falling by the wayside. And in the end, you'll end up with probably between 5 and 3, okay? Now, those 5 and 3, will get to the 5th letter. Once they get to the 5th letter, now you can branch out on your own and start writing them and building a rapport. Now you're going to put them on your phone list. Now you're going to give them a visitation form so they can come see you. Now you're going to do all the things that you would do in a normal relationship, but this is not a normal relationship. This is a pen pal in the free world. That's what Toms think they are, is a pen pal. And in prison, you are a sugar daddy, and that is it. No one refers to any pen pals as pen pals. They are all sugar daddies. Now, if the pen pal thinks that they have crossed over to the boyfriend status, that's fine in your mind, in your world. If you want to believe it, go for it. If that's what makes you sleep good at night, thinking that you have an incarcerated girlfriend, go for it. But I promise you, whenever she says, I'm going to visitation, she says, I'm going to see my sugar daddy. When she says, I'm going to call and get money put in this person's account so that my girlfriend can have money, she says, I'm going to call my sugar daddy. She doesn't say, I'm going to call my boyfriend. She doesn't have a boyfriend. Boyfriends, they're not sugar daddies. Sugar daddies are not boyfriends. Pen pals are not boyfriends. Pen pals and sugar daddies are one and the same, and boyfriends are somebody that you had before you got to prison that you knew very well and had a relationship with, or there's somebody who you really formed a bond with in prison, and if that person cut off all finances, you wouldn't get mad. So, moving right along, basically now what happens is you think you've crossed over into boyfriend territory. She knows that she's got you hook, line, and sinker. You're coming to see her. Now you might be sneaking her stuff in. Or you might not be, and you might just be sending her Bibles, journals, catalog, giving her money for shoes, plus the canteen you send every week. You're putting money in some stranger's account that you don't know because she told you that she has to do it that way because her tag is lost, because her account is at the maximum weekly allowed limit, because, you know, whatever story she comes up with, that is a story that you're going to believe, and now you're going to do all of these other extra not normal things. Like normal is just putting money in her account and that's it. Now you're doing like extra things that seem a little weird, but you're buying the story, so you're doing it, okay? Then we have these situations where sometimes the female inmate gets busted, okay? She gets in an argument with somebody. She's arguing with the girlfriend. She has somebody that's hating on her because you're a really good sugar daddy and you're taking really good care of her. And someone contacts you. Or you even contact somebody and you ask, hey, what's up? What's going on? What's the real deal? And they tell you. And now you're pissed. You're pissed the hell off. And you want to know if it's true, and you want to rip this girl's freaking head off because you feel like you've been used, abused, and you're a laughing stock of everybody, okay? She's done told you that everybody in the prison knows about you. Everyone sees your pictures, all this stuff. You're like the king ding-a-ling of the prison world. They're all so jealous of her. It's not true, okay? There's no other way I can say it. You are one of many, and nobody talks about y'all. You are only discussed, guys, and I'm sorry to be so cold and callous and say this like this, but you're only discussed when it comes time to need something, want something, or get money, okay? Visitations are dreadful. They're dreaded when it's with sugar daddies because it's work. You're working, okay? Now, like I said, I'm not saying that you might not be, you watching may be that one sugar daddy that's just so freaking awesome and you just met somebody and y'all really fell in love. But it's like winning the lottery. The chances are so minimal that I can't even numerically make them fit. Like if I say 1 in 100, I think I'm still being vastly generous because I don't even think it's that many, okay? So, sex is the oldest occupation in the books. Okay, in place of sexual acts that these women cannot give these men, they're going to write and write and write. And a lot of these men want to sit at home and read. They want to read novels. They want to read books. And a lot of these girls have pre-written most all of this. They'll just add a little bit. When they get the letter from you or the email from you, they'll add a little bit on the end and, you know, have it correspond with what you said. Have it answer some of your questions, but it's all pre-written, okay? They're going to send you books and books and books, and since they can't fuck you physically, they're going to fuck you mentally. So don't get mentally, okay? You could be that one, but for all intents and purposes of this video, we're just going to say that most sugar daddies, pen pals, boyfriends, whatever you want to call them, are the same, because y'all, they really are, okay? So anyways, now, moving right along, now that she has got you and you guys are visiting and you're doing all of these things, like you're doing anything she needs, like your world revolves around her, you guys are a hard down, hunkered couple, okay? You will find these Toms getting stuff for the family members and for the kids and all types of things for Christmas on behalf of the girl, because you think you're purchasing these things for the family on behalf of you guys as a couple, but you're not. You're just supporting her family because she's manipulated and finessed you. Now she starts selling you all the pipe dreams. You guys are going to live together. You guys need a house. You want to move to this city. You guys are going to get a dog. You're going to get married. You're going to have, maybe even have kids, or, you know, adopt, or just live happily ever after. You guys are going to do all of this stuff. You're supporting her dreams. You guys are talking about retirements and all of these kinds of things. She may have introduced you to her family and her kids. That's a big one, because you feel like you're in there, because as someone who is not in a manipulative mindset, you can't possibly think that someone's going to introduce you to their children or their family if it's not serious, right? It's all part of the game, y'all. Toms, it's all part of the freaking game, okay? You are waiting for her to get out. You might even be getting her attorneys. You might be doing just absolutely so freaking much for this girl, and all your friends are telling you that you're dumb and that you're being milked and that you're being taken advantage of, and you don't want to hear any parts of it, because you know that while it may have started out that way, that somehow you guys were that one that actually found the real connection. Guys, hear me when I tell you this. Please read my lips. It's game. It is all game, okay? You're not that one, Tom. You're not, okay? Sorry, but you're not. When she gets out, she is going to go back to the life she knew with all the old boyfriends, girlfriends, whomever, or she's going to start a whole new life that's better, which is hopefully what she does. Go on to succeed, prosper, and do good, productive things, but it's not going to be with you. She's going to want to experience the world. She's going to want something new and exciting. Now, you're going to get her all of these things for her to get out. You're going to get her all these clothes. You're going to set her up, and she's going to be around for a couple days, maybe a week, but then she's going to be gone, okay? There are some veterans, y'all, some freaking seasoned vets that have some talk game out this world. They literally like hypnotize you with words, okay? That is what these girls are very, very good at. A lot of them are fast street life, had to survive, and when you have that survival mindset, you are just a good manipulator naturally. Couple that with drug addiction or anything else that they may have lived through, man, y'all don't stand a chance, Toms. You don't stand a chance. As far as me personally, I didn't ever have any sugar daddies or pen pals. Thank God, and I'm very, 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 very grateful. Thank God for this. My family did support me, and I had everything I needed, so I didn't have to look for outside means to survive, okay? I was very grateful for that, but with that being said, I didn't knock it either. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't walking around looking at these girls like, ugh, what the hell are you doing? Because prison is a struggle, and it's an environment where you know, only the toughest survive. And if you want to survive and live with even a semblance of normalcy, you literally have to make it happen on your own. Because the prison, if you guys think the prison gives you anything to survive, they don't. They give you 3 square meals, a metal bed, and every week you get 2 rolls of toilet paper and a bar of soap that is the size of a business card, like the hotel soaps, and it's about that thick, okay? It's about that thick and about that wide, and that's it. And that has to last a whole week. For your body, you don't get shampoo. As a woman, you don't get shampoo and conditioner in prison either. You don't get a hairbrush. You don't get a comb. You don't get anything. You don't get like regular, you don't get like a regular bra. Like, you have to buy these things. So if you want to survive and be able to even have good hygiene, you don't get deodorant. If you come to prison and you get no money, you will not get deodorant there. Like, what? So it's disgusting. You'll walk around a disgusting, smelly, stinky woman. And so, of course, you're going to try to find a way to survive. I mean, so I'm not knocking them at all. But I will say this. If you have an arrangement with an inmate and you understand the grounds and the pretenses and the foundation on which you're building on, do it. Help someone, be generous. You know what I mean? I don't see anything wrong with that. If you want to help somebody, go for it by all means. But do it knowing that there's no strings attached. And if something comes from it, that's awesome. But if it doesn't, don't feel blindsided or heartbroken or bitter. If you are a Tom out there and you're taking care of someone in prison, even if you think it's a for real relationship and it's legit and that I'm just talking crazy because I don't know you and your situation is not like that, please trust me when I tell you, if a good woman comes along, if you find someone that sparks your interest, don't pass her up or him up just because you have this connection to this person in prison, okay? Because it's not likely that it's going to work. Live your life. Enjoy your life. You can take care of that girl still. You can still send her money if that's what your heart is telling you to do. But live your life and enjoy it. Because if you anchor yourself to that situation, to that person, you're going to be greatly and grossly devastated when that girl gets out and you don't have that fairy tale that you thought you were going to have. When there are red flags and signs, if this story is hitting home with you because everything I've said is what you've experienced, you are a Tom, you are a sugar daddy, you are a pen pal that turned into an ATM, and I wish you the very best of luck. But I will end this by saying that the #1 hustle in a female prison is sugar daddies. Okay? So this is basically the #1 hustle, the #1 goal. These girls can get thousands of dollars a month. There was a woman who literally had a bank receipt in her account and she had $91,000 in there. And I'm not going to bust her out, but she's got so many freaking sugar daddies, pen pals. And she just spends all of her time, like as if she was at work, putting all of her effort into that. And when she leaves prison, she's going to have upwards of $100,000 to start her life. And she doesn't plan on starting with one piece of these men. Not one Tom is going to get her affections. She's just got a good talk game. It's all about the talk game. It's all about finessing and manipulating, okay? Sex is the oldest profession in life, okay? Sex is also one of the most powerful professions. But in place of getting physically fucked, okay, these girls are mentally fucking these guys. The girls are not physically able to F you, so they're going to mentally F you. And once they mentally F you and they got that mind, the heart's going to follow, okay? So just be smart, be safe, be realistic, and have fun, okay? Enjoy your life. Enjoy it for you, whatever that looks like. Enjoy it for you. Just don't be naive. I love y'all. Thank y'all. I love y'all. If you enjoyed this video, if it was helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you got anything to say, put it in the comment section below. And I will see you guys next time with my video that I'm going to actually talk about my personal story of being pregnant in the county jail. I went into the county jail 3 weeks pregnant with my first and only child, and I had him incarcerated. I did not actually see him at home in this kind of environment until he was 8 years old, and I saw him and grew with him and bonded with him through visitation. So I'm going to tell you guys how that was, who raised him, what went on, and how our life is now, okay? So I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Love y'all.